Have you ever fallen down an internet rabbit hole? You click on one video, then another, and suddenly it's 3 a.m. and you're watching something you never expected. That's kind of what happened to me, but it didn't just cost me a night's sleep. It cost me a lot more. It all started pretty innocently. I was scrolling through my feed and a video popped up with a catchy title. Something like, "The Secret They Don't Want You to Know." I was curious. Who doesn't love a good secret? I clicked. That one video led to dozens more. They were slick, professional looking, and filled with evidence documents, anonymous sources, grainy photos. It all felt so real, so convincing. I started spending all my free time in these online forums. It felt like I'd found a community, people who got it. We were the ones who saw the truth, while everyone else was just a sheep. I felt smart, like I was part of an exclusive club with access to hidden knowledge. This feeling was powerful, almost addictive. I was convinced I was uncovering massive, world-changing secrets from my bedroom. Soon, this new knowledge started spilling into my real life. I'd bring it up with my family at dinner. I remember my dad just looking at me, confused, and saying, "Where are you getting this stuff?" I just thought he didn't understand. I tried talking to my friends about it. At first they were polite, maybe a little curious, but I was relentless. Every conversation, I'd find a way to steer it back to the latest theory I'd discovered. I could see the shift happening, but I didn't want to admit it. My friends started texting me less. When we did hang out, there was this awkward tension in the air. They'd changed the subject when I brought up my research. I remember one friend, Sarah, finally said, "Can we please just talk about something else? Anything else?" I felt hurt, misunderstood. I thought, they just don't want to face the truth. I didn't realize I was pushing them away. I was so caught up in being right that I couldn't see I was losing them. The real turning point, the moment I can't forget, happened at my cousin's wedding. It was supposed to be a happy day. During the reception, I got into a conversation with one of my uncles. I started explaining this elaborate theory I was obsessed with at the time. I wasn't just talking, I was preaching. I got louder and more passionate, convinced I was opening his eyes. Suddenly, I noticed the music had softened and a lot of people were looking at us. My uncle was just staring at me, his face a mix of pity and embarrassment. My aunt came over and gently led him away. I stood there alone in the middle of the dance floor. I saw my friends huddled in a corner, whispering and looking at me. My parents just looked heartbroken. In that moment, the weight of what I had done crashed down on me. I wasn't a truth teller. I was the family spectacle, the person everyone was whispering about. The feeling of shame was overwhelming. I just wanted the floor to swallow me whole. I left the wedding early without saying goodbye to anyone. The drive home was silent. There was no triumphant feeling of being right, just a deep, hollow emptiness. I got home, opened my laptop, and went to those same forums. But this time, they looked different. The bold claims and secret evidence suddenly seemed flimsy and desperate. The community I felt part of now seemed like an echo chamber of anxious and isolated people, all feeding off each other's fears. Was this really what I wanted? To trade my family, my friends, my whole life for this? Getting out wasn't like flipping a switch. It was a slow, difficult process. The first step was the hardest. I deleted my accounts on those forums. I unsubscribed from the channels. It felt like a breakup. For the first few days, the silence was deafening. My thumb would automatically go to where the apps used to be. The urge to just check in was intense. I had to consciously fill my time with other things. I started going for long walks, listening to music I used to love, and just trying to reconnect with the world outside my screen. The next step was even harder, apologizing. I started with my parents. I sat them down and just said, "I'm sorry." I admitted I'd gotten lost and that I was wrong. I expected them to be angry, but they just looked relieved. My mom hugged me and said, "We were so worried about you. We're just glad to have you back." That single moment of acceptance gave me the courage to keep going. Reaching out to my friends was terrifying. I sent a group message, a simple one, just apologizing for how I'd been acting and for pushing them away. I said I missed them. Not everyone replied right away. Some never did, and that hurts, but I understand. The friends who did reply were cautious, but they were willing to meet up. That first coffee felt like a first date. We avoided the big topics and just talked about movies, work, silly things. It was normal, and it felt amazing. It was a slow process of rebuilding that trust, one normal conversation at a time. Looking back, I realized that I wasn't seeking truth. I was seeking certainty in a confusing world. These theories gave me simple answers to complex questions. They made me feel special and in control when I felt powerless. But that feeling of control was an illusion, and it came at a terrible price. The internet is an incredible tool, but it's also a maze of mirrors. It can show you reflections of what you want to believe over and over until you think it's the only reality. It's so easy to find a community that will agree with absolutely anything you think, no matter how far-fetched. If you feel yourself being pulled down one of these rabbit holes, or if you see a friend starting to slip, please just take a step back. Ask yourself what you're sacrificing for these beliefs. Is it worth your relationships, your peace of mind? If you're struggling, talk to someone you trust, someone outside of the online bubble. Sometimes just hearing a different perspective can make all the difference. Connection, real human connection, is the best anchor in a sea of information. Thank you so much for listening to my story. It wasn't easy to share, but I hope it can help someone. If you found this meaningful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It helps more than you know. Stay safe and stay connected.